Hey you! Yeah you. Are you a carry player and you're looking for ways to gain MMR? In particular, 5 ways to gain MMR? Well, if you are, you've come to the right place. What's up? My name's Speed, and today I'll be trying to sell you on why you should get a gameleap sub. But in all reality, alright, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here. Today, we're going to be going over 5 habits that all carry players need to learn. We're going to be going over 5 clips of my friend who's a rank 40 carry player in NA. He plays against Leslau, the offlane player for Quincy Crew, Bloody 9, Gunner, some of the best players in the world, and still manages to pull off a difficult win in the carry role because he follows these 5 tips religiously. Let's get into it. But before we do, remember that we do actually run a website. Believe it or not, if you click the like button, you'll eventually get 50% off on the gameleap website. Not right now, but if you click the link down below, you can actually go check out the website. We post content there every single day that's going to help you get to the next level. Literally, I make videos on so many different topics. I just started making an Invoker course, for instance. Before that, I did a support course. And you can check these videos out over on the gameleap website. You're going to watch them and you're going to be like, wow, Speed, I wish I knew from the beginning how great this service actually is. Nah, just playing, but it actually is. So click the link down below, go give it a shot, and I'll see you guys there. Alright, hopping into our first point, this one is going to hit very close to home for a lot of you carry players. In fact, if you're not a carry player and you're watching this video, you're still going to be like, oh yeah, this makes a lot of sense. I really understand where you're coming from here. And as we look at this clip here, he's leaning against the Dark Seer Tusk. If you guys know anything about Dark Seer against Terrorblade, not very fun. It's not fun. Iron Shells, it just kill you, right? Your hero has 14 armor at the 6-minute mark, but you die really easily. So in this clip here, what I want to show you is the fact that he already has a death. At 6 minutes in, he's already died. And he's about to get run down from full HP by a Tusk Dark Seer combo. Now, what do you think he does after he dies here? Does he break his items and gives up? Does he say, hey, where's my support? Does he say, we have no words? No, he just keeps playing. He just plays. You wanna know why he's ranked 40? I actually think a bigger, 36. Wanna know why my friend Yamson's ranked 36? I actually believe one of the biggest reasons is the fact that he does not get tilted in the regard where he doesn't take it out on other people. Yes, he can get mad at someone else. Yes, he thinks people are idiots, like everyone else. I do too. You do too. We all hate our teammates. I know, but you cannot give up just because you died twice in the first 10 minutes in the game. You didn't lose just because you died twice. You can just go hit a bunch of creeps, right? And hopefully the enemy team will die, one of your tier 1s, and they're gonna all of a sudden come back into the game. So please, I know it's like weird that I'm starting the video with something that's just mentality, but carry players, you guys are the most sensitive out of everyone. All right, you know what is true. If you know it's true, click the like. You know it's true. You know it's true. And you want to know something else that's also true? It's a little bit of a secret, all right? If you click the like button, you immediately will have 10 times more CS than your last game. Actually, no, it's probably gonna be more like something like 2 times the amount of CS you had the last game, but I'm serious. It's actually a well-known trick. Liking gameleap videos, right? Click it right now. If you like the gameleap videos, you actually double your CS from the last game. It's a proven trick, so click it right now. I'm watching you. Did you click it? Why didn't you click it yet? Click it! Click the like button! Okay, let's get back into the video. Alright, so the second tip, the second habit you need to master is watching the minimap when farming. Most players know this. They understand this concept. But the purpose of this video is to develop your habits and make sure you're actually going to gain MMR. In this clip here, most people would be like, yeah, I know the enemy team is not showing, blah, blah, blah. But in your game, you don't execute on it and you die and you say, once again, I guess it is what it is, right? I just shouldn't push side lanes. And then you lose your next 10 games because you don't push side lanes, or your next 1,000 games. And I'm actually serious about that. People get so afraid of the side lanes and farming side lanes and pushing out onto their map when their teammates aren't because they happen to die once. You cannot equate the 2 things together. Otherwise, you will not become a better player. Right here, his whole team is not making a move. The enemy team is all missing. And yet he still pushes his lane as far as he can. He says, okay, the enemy team is not showing. I'm going to send my illusions down the lane and back up, right? This is the play you want to make here. Unfortunately, he does end up getting ganked in a second, but you could see he has this good map awareness. Now, as I was saying, the habit you need to develop here is to look at the map when you're farming and not develop the bad habit of never going down side lanes just because you died once. He even got Moonlight shadowed here, but this is a really high MMR game. They catch him anyway. They premeditate that, they have the detection ready, and they kill him. But it's besides the point. He still is gonna, for the rest of the game, run down the side lanes. I'm not gonna show you examples to keep you guys engaged, but you see the point, right? He still will keep running down side lanes. You cannot get scarred by these things, and you have to do this. Otherwise, you will become very underfarmed compared to your high MMR opponents in the future that I know you guys are gonna play against one day. Next up, coming in at tip number 3, is you gotta hit some creeps! Hit some creeps! This is your weekly reminder to hit some creeps. I know for a fact that you are not going to gain MMR as a carry player because you're not hitting creeps. And I know it sounds simple. You hear it all the time. It's like, how do you become good at carry? Out-farm them. But every single time I watch a 3K MMR game, they show up to every single fight, every single time, and they don't split push and hit their timings. Guys, hit your freaking timings. I know this is the most basic point in Dota, but that's because it's the most important. The basics and fundamentals are always way more important than everything else, right? You're probably expecting this video to be like, you can pop... Did you know that you can pop Sunder on illusions? And if you pop Sunder in this very niche scenario where you pop it in the 3rd second of the team fight, and then it's gonna help you get better in some weird... No! If you want to get better, just develop this as a habit. Look at this fight, okay? The reason why I love this clip. Look at this fight. Yamson's taking a fight. Let's look at his player perspective, okay? He's farming up this camp. He's watching the minimap, as per usual. You can see he runs to top without even looking. Without even looking. Do you want to be rank 30? You can't even look. Nah. But really, there's some truth to this, okay? Why doesn't he even look? Why didn't he even bother taking a step in that direction? He didn't even take a freaking step. When most players would show up to the fight, he didn't even take a step in that direction. Why is he so much better? It's because he understands his timings. He understands what he needs to do. Does he have meta? No. Okay, then he's not gonna fight in the early game. Does he have Sunder? No, then he's not gonna fight in the early game. Now you might be saying, Speed, what if I'm playing Jug or Wraith King, a hero in between? Yeah, maybe you could consider it. Maybe you could consider it. Okay, obviously it depends on the hero. Terrorblade with no meta, no Sunder is absolutely not showing up to a mid-dive when there's 5 enemy heroes that counter him. Literally, it is one of the worst Terrorblade games I've ever seen. Not good against AA, you're not good against Timber, you're not good against Darkseer, you're mediocre against Tusk, and I would say you're actually good against Wraith King, right? That's the only match where said okay. Until he has Radiance, then in the early game, you're not that good. But he didn't even take a step when most players would show up. That showing up to this fight would not only potentially get him killed because of how bad a Terrorblade game it actually is, it would cause him to simply lose out on this next full 30 seconds to a minute of split pushing that changes the next minute and a half, right? What I mean by that is by him going top here, it's going to force a rotation back. Forcing those rotations will then give him farm at the 15 or 16 minute mark. Dota's a snowball effect. If you don't look at it that way and you can't actually get ahead to the point where you're able to look at the game that way, you're going to fall behind. He's able to get out onto the map, take the dangerous farm while he can. Remember, this is dangerous farm because the enemy team can obviously wrap on you easier. It's harder for your teammates to get to you here, but it's only dangerous when they're there. So you have to take it when they're not there and then jungle backwards. All right, this point's been going on for a while. It's just the most important of the video, and I really just can't stress it enough. Next up, we're actually going to look at a fight. And habit number 4 is you have to perfect your hero's limits. And I really do think it's one of those things where you can't just keep switching carry. I recommend playing 3 to 5 carry games in a row if you have the mental fortitude to do that. It just helps so much. And you'll see a lot of non-panic here, right? He really does a good job of just not panicking this fight. Fight breaks out, it's a big Roshan fight, Roshan's low. Good Stomp comes out to stomp out the Roshan, has really good awareness here to get inside of the pit and contest that Aegis. Obviously we see both of his teammates are going to get in, doesn't panic, is able to finish off the Roshan, thankfully just barely gets the Aegis, and is able to clean up the Wraith King. Now, where the limits come into play here is number 1, he has Aegis so he doesn't have to panic on Sunder. He does a good job of that. He doesn't panic at all, doesn't bother Sundering this Timbersaw, because he understands AA Blast has been committed, Vacuum's been committed, all of Test spells have been committed, Timbersaw doesn't have his ultimate in Q, so he doesn't have to panic on that. He's not going to get bursted as a result of his current HP pool, and therefore he can save the Sunder for the Wraith King. And this is all subconscious. It is. It's just all subconscious. And so a lot of getting good at Dota is taking the blame for your mistakes and deaths so that you can learn from them, and playing the game a lot. But by playing the game a lot, if you play 3 to 5 games of your hero in a row, it's going to teach you when you're strong. It's going to teach you what heroes counter you and what you need to worry about. And that's why it's the 4th point. And for point number 5, our last habit of the video, you have to buy BKB. And then on top of that, I want to really get deep into the items that he goes this game. Okay, it's a very difficult, very difficult Terrorblade game, as I said. In fact, I haven't shown you his other deaths, but the game is actually only 2k net worth ahead right now. It's an extremely even game. Anybody's win. Now, he just died. A lot of people, when they die, immediately assume that they need defensive items. It's actually a really bad habit that a lot of players have, where essentially they have something happen to them. For instance, they miss a kill, someone gets away on 100 HP, and then they say, I need a basher, I need a stun. and they buy a Basher, or they get doomed in a fight and they immediately say, I need a Lincoln's, or they die in a fight and instead of going dataless to actually threaten opponents, which we'll get into in a second, they end up buying a Satanic, or they end up buying a Butterfly, a defensive item. You know, both of those items are sort of offensive. You get the point. They end up committing to more defense. And what happens is, because they have no offense, right? Offense is the best defense, or defense is the best offense, right? Those sayings exist. Because they actually don't threaten anyone, they just get kited and die anyway. And that's kind of the thing about items on Terrorblade, right? You can see he already has 1, 2, 3, 4 defensive items. Of course, they also give him a certain amount of damage. You know, they're all decent damage items as well. But at this point in the game, even though Dark Seer could make an illusion of him, if he doesn't buy Daedalus, the enemy team is just going to ignore him. It's also a really important game for him to build physical damage at some point, which is definitely going to be the Daedalus on Terrorblade, because he has an Elder Titan to reduce their armor, and because he has a Slaughter. Even though you typically just buy Daedalus regardless of your teammates, it's even a better reason to buy it in this game. On top of that, the enemy team actually doesn't have like the highest of armor heroes. Wraith King is typically not that good, AA is definitely not that good, and Tusk isn't either. Dark Seer is okay, and Timber is alright, as long as he actually builds up some stacks. But yeah, that's why I just want to say you have to buy BKB and then just buy Daedalus. The reason, so these are his last 2 items, right? A lot of people skimp on them because they say, I'm the carry. I'm having a good game. I'm not going to buy BKB. I'm not going to buy Daedalus. And I'm guilty of this too. In my last Terrorblade game, I didn't buy BKB. And it was really bad. It was really, really bad. You'd always convince you. As carry player, we always convince ourselves to not click the like button. You gotta click the like button right now. I apologize, but you do have to click. But we always convince ourselves to not buy a BKB. Having a BKB Daedalus allows you to actually do damage. If he was to go Satanic Butterfly, he might just get bursted, and then all of that survivability is out the window, because the enemy team is going to kill him through what? Mostly magical damage and an illusion of himself. But alright, that's going to be all for today's video. Hope you guys learned a lot, and hopefully this just instills the ideas that I try to push to you all the time. I'm just always such a big fan of sticking to the fundamentals and really making sure you have the habits that allow you to become a good carry player. Not all the weird, fancy, nonsense tips. I know people want to hear, like, if you spawn an illusion at minute 35:30 and send it down the top lane, it's a free win. That stuff doesn't exist. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace. And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website, where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.